There has been a lot of reaction to that far-ranging 60 Minutes interview. Elon Musk not holding back about his past, his present, or his future.
Like the groundbreaking rocket created by his company SpaceX, 2018 has been filled with incredible highs for Elon Musk and some spectacular failures, too.
There are people who say that the company cannot survive without you.
I don't think that's true, yeah.
There are people who say the company cannot survive with you.
Haha, that's hilarious. I don't really want to try to adhere to some CEO template.
Musk not holding back on 60 Minutes when asked about his use of social media.
Twitter is a war zone. If somebody's going to jump in the war zone, it's like, okay, you're in the arena. Let's go.
In August, Musk tweeted, considering taking Tesla private at 420, funding secured. That post, an apparent marijuana reference, blindsided investors and triggered a lawsuit from the SEC that Musk settled for $40 million, agreeing to step down as Tesla CEO and have his tweets monitored by his board.
I want to be clear. I do not respect the SEC. I do not respect them. I respect the justice system.
And speaking of marijuana, Musk also courted controversy when he appeared to smoke pot on a podcast.
There's tobacco and marijuana in there.
I do not smoke pot. As anyone who watched that podcast could tell, I have no idea how to smoke pot.
The entrepreneur also describing what he called an abusive childhood and emotionally abusive father.
It was very violent. It was not a happy childhood. My father has serious issues.
And when asked about being bullied in school,
I was almost beaten to death, if you call that bullied.
In an interview with NBC News, Elon's mother, May Musk, told Maria Shriver about her son's struggles.
He was always brilliant, but you know, brilliance doesn't always go into practical benefits to other people.
Here are some of the words written about you.
Yeah, for sure.
Not the whole
That's
time.
a lot of
just
words.
over this summer. Erratic, unstable, reckless, operatic.
I'm just being me. I mean, I was certainly under insane stress and crazy hours, but the system would have failed if I was truly erratic.
As a year comes to an end, Tesla is profitable after coming close to a breaking point.
We're losing $50, sometimes $100 million a week. We're running out of money.
Musk also saying a $35,000 version of the Model 3 could arrive by early next year. Maybe.
Well, I mean, punctuality is not my strong suit.
All right, punctuality is not his strong suit. Any idea how he plans to reach that deadline, Gotti?
Yeah, one way is by increasing production and churning out those Model 3s faster. They made a huge increase after building a third assembly line in a tent in a parking lot. And now Musk is suggesting that they would be interested in buying some of those 4 General Motors plants that are closing soon. All of this with new model of Tesla coming out next year. That one is called the Model Y. That's going to be unveiled next year. Guys, back to you.
He's an interesting guy.
All right.
Thanks, Gotti.